Peachy Pilates. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today's workout is all standing, so when you just don't even feel like getting down on your mat. In theory, you don't even need your mat from this one. You can do it anytime, anywhere. We're going to start with a few isolations, getting our body moving and just feeling more connected to our body. You might recognize some of these isolations if you've ever done something like a dance or a bar class. You just stand up here nice and tall, and then we're going to start moving our head. You're going to take your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Feel a nice big stretch in the side of your neck. And then same thing, up and over, left ear to left shoulder. So I'm just going to have you rock your head from one side to the other. You feel a nice big stretch on the opposite side of your neck. And a lot of times we hold tension in these upper trap muscles. And so we want to try to keep our shoulder blades down as far away from our ears as we possibly can. Now as you start to tip side to side, you might start to feel a little bit more length down the sides of your neck. Maybe you can tip a little bit further every single time. We're going to do one more of these over to each side. And then from here, you're just going to start to look down towards the ground, back to center, and up towards the sky, back to center. So down, center, up, and then right back to center. As you move this time, we're just opening up the back of your neck here, front part of our neck, feeling that stretch. And then again, focusing on your posture, just trying to stand up as tall as you can as you go in either direction. Now one more set of this. You look right back to center, and then we're going to start to look side to side. So taking a peek over that right shoulder, back to center, over that left shoulder, back to center. We're working on a little bit of rotation here immediately. Up in the neck, the cervical spine, we don't rotate that much up here. During Pilates, we're usually trying to keep it still while we rotate other parts of our spine. But really nice, again, to open up, break up any of that tension that might build up surrounding your shoulders. We're going to do one more set of this. And then we're just going to move down our body over to our ribs. Once you're here, you can put your hands on your hips if you want to, don't have to. You're just going to start to try to move your chest, move your ribs forward, center, and then back to center. So a little bit more challenging to isolate here in the rib cage besides your neck that we did earlier. Trying to keep your hips as still and steady as you can as you just kind of shine your chest forward, and then think about creating space behind your ribs, moving your shoulder blades apart from one another. Now this is really going to start to warm up your deep core muscles that we talk about a lot of times on the mat with those pelvic rocks. We'll do one more set here. And then you're going to go from side to side. So can you send those ribs over to the right, back to center, over to the left, and back to center. Now, as you move from side to side, everyone's body is going to have different range of motion here. Try to keep those hips solid like they're in concrete. And you're really going to start to feel your obliques. So from where those ribs and hips connect, as you stretch them over to one side and then the other. We're going to start to draw a little box here next. So your chest is going to go forward, over to the side, back, over to the other side. As you draw this little box in one direction, I'm starting clockwise, but you don't have to. Just think again about holding on to those inner thighs to keep your hips and your core as steady as possible. Working those deep layers of abdominals, and then reversing your direction from here. As you go in the other direction, just try to find as much precision with your moves as you can. This is very small, but very controlled and very targeted. We'll do one more all the way around. We're going to do those same exercises with our hips. So this time we'll keep your ribs still, and your hips are going to shoot forward and shoot back. Shoot forward and shoot back. So isolating your pelvis here, giving it that little tuck like your pelvic rock, and then back past neutral, sticking that booty out. So little tuck, and then all the way past neutral. If we were doing this lying down on our back, it would look like flattening the curve of your low back, buttoning the back of your belly button down. We talk about that a whole bunch lying down. So try to find that same sensation here, keeping your neck, keeping the backs of your thighs relaxed. Now after this next one, we're just going to send those hips from side to side, from side to side. Should feel pretty natural for you to rock those hips from side to side. Your opposite knee will just bend with you. And then you're thinking of taking a little side body crunch. So can you lift your hip up towards your rib on each side and stretch out that other side? We're gonna take this one into that clockwise box, just like you did with your ribs. You'll tuck forward, move to the side, back, and over to the other side. Tuck it forward, side, back, over to the other side. You can use your hands here to feel the space between your ribs and your hips as you tuck forward and move to either side. You'll really feel that difference in the shape across the center of your torso. Isolating those deep layers of abdominals. Last isolation here, you're just going to do the exact same thing in the other direction. Feeling that length on one side of the torso, feeling that crunch up in the front, and then sticking that booty back and finding that length down our posture in our front body. Working here for 3 more. Keep on breathing for me. And then once you're done with that third little box with those hips, I'm going to have you open your legs nice and wide. Your right hand's going to go on your hip, and your left hand's going to reach all the way up and over towards the right little side bend. You're looking for length here, so pressing down your left foot as much as you can, and then reaching out those left fingertips. Same thing with that side body crunch like we talked about with your hips, but this time it's your rib trying to come up and over to meet that hip as opposed to your hip coming up to meet that rib. Try to relax your neck, keep your heart nice and wide for 1 more big breath in. And then on the exhale, you'll come up to a nice tall letter T and do the exact same thing on the other side. So side bend, opening up the right side of your body as you take that side bend over to the left, feeling as much length as you can here. And then finding that nice, big, deep, expansive breath. So we're opening up one side of our ribs, which is allowing our lungs to expand a little bit more on that side. Create more space so that as we move, we'll be connected to our breath and our muscles, we'll be able to move more efficiently and work nice and hard. 1 more inhale here. Come all the way up to that letter T, and then you're going to step both legs together. Both arms are going to come down. We're going to start with just the legs. You're just going to step one out, back in, the other out, and back in. So as you step nice and wide, I want your weight to transfer here, and then I want you to think almost like you're springing up off that foot, leaving heel ball toe, floating that foot to land right back down. So there's control here. Spring off that foot to land, and then spring off that foot to land. You are using your inner thighs to think about growing taller each time your leg comes in. We're going to start to add some arms. Think about this almost like a jumping jack without that impact. You're going to reach for the sky as you step out, and then back down as you step in. Towards the sky as you step out, and back down as you come in. So as you move here, you're taking a stepping out version of a jumping jack. So we'll call this your Pilates jumping jack, your low impact jack. Think about lifting your belly button up through your ribs here, growing taller out the crown of your head each time your shoulders move down away from your ears, back by your sides. Working that lateral plane here, moving from side to side, turns on our outer and our inner thighs. We all want to shake those. Let's just do 1 more set of this. And then once you're even, you can bring those hands back down. Take a peek at your feet, about a fist distance between them. We want them to look parallel here because we're going to start stepping back behind us and take a little standing crunch. So here's what that looks like. 1 foot's going to step back, bend that front knee, super tiny, and then all you're going to do is use that same leg and pull your knee all the way up towards your chest. So you'll step that foot back as your front knee bends, and then pull that knee up as your front leg straightens. So you're just with the legs here to start. You're pulling from that right side, thinking right hip all the way up towards your rib. As you spring that leg up, think about your abs pulling that knee up, your center pulling that knee up, and let's go ahead and add some arms. Next time you're stepped back, hold yourself back. Work on that balance, turn on those inner thighs. You're gonna reach both arms straight up towards the sky. And then from here, as your knee bends, both elbows are gonna bend in towards it. Ribs and hips move together, and then shoot those arms up as you step back. So exhale, little crunch. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, little crunch. Inhale, step it back. You're looking for length in the front of your hip on the way back. You're looking for strength in your center. Pull that belly in as much as you can. So you're putting on that core set with every single exhale here. Send your shoulders down your back. And then think about that firm foundation under your front foot. Can you keep that ankle as rock solid as possible? Pressure under all four corners of that front foot as you move. Let's do 4, 3, 2, switching sides from here. Other foot steps back, bend that front knee, and then come into your little crunch. Step it back, crunch it up, step it back, crunch it up. Now your inner thighs here, they support your balance. You're pulling those abs in, thinking about your left rib all the way down to that left hip, pulling up like a string, trying to pull your knee towards the sky. We want our abs to do the work so our front hip flexor doesn't take over. Now moving your arms and your legs makes it harder for your cardiovascular system, makes it harder for your balance. So if you want to stick with just those legs, that's always fine. So just legs is always an option. Pulling your navel in, squaring off those hips. We've got 4, 3, 2, we're going to go into a standing bicycle crunch here next. Hands are going behind your head. Elbows are nice and wide. Now watch as my knee picks up this time. I twist my opposite elbow towards it. Little crunch. Stand nice and tall. And exhale to switch sides. Inhale to stand. Exhale to switch. Now you want to try to keep your elbows nice and wide so that they're not rounding forward to hit that knee, but so that it's your waist that's twisting in order to create that oblique crunch across your center while you're standing nice and tall. Exhale every single time you twist. It's going to help you twist a little bit more, help you engage a little bit more, and then of course assist you with your balance, helping you turn on those lowest, deepest layers of abdominals. Every time you twist here, you're going to feel that burn across your center, across your core. Can you do 4 more sets for me? Speeding it up just a teeny bit. Beautiful. Once you're done with this last set, those hands are coming all the way down to your hips. You're going to give those shoulders a little roll back. We're going to go into a little bit of outer thigh work here. You're going to balance on that left leg. That standing leg is going to be slightly bent. From here, your right leg is going to reach straight out towards the side. Can you flex your foot and start to lift that right leg up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Now if we're having a lot of trouble with our balance, we find something, stand up next to it, and then just hang on to it with your hand here. So if you've got like a kitchen counter, bar stool, a chair, something like that, those always work well to help us with our balance. If not, we're focusing on those abs so much. Growing taller out the crown of your head and really, really feeling that outer thigh do the work. Try to keep your core, your torso, as still as possible so that there's no crunching in that side body. We're going to get to a side body crunch here next, but first, can you hold that leg lifted? Take tiny pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it there. Can you set your toe down? You're going to reach your right arm. So same arm as leg, straight up towards the sky. From here, our elbow and our knee are going to bend, meet towards the side body crunch, and then reach nice and long as we breathe in. So kind of like that standing forward crunch that we took earlier, but this time you're looking to keep your heart open, your hips open, and feel that crunch on the right side of your body. Breathing out each time you crunch for support. You'll notice that standing leg also gets lots of work. We are here for 4, for 3, for 2. Couple more exercises on this right side. Hands are going to come back to your hips. From here, my right leg's going to come back at a little bit of a diagonal. So it's not straight back behind you, it's slightly out towards the side. If you're standing on a mat, it's about the width of that mat out towards the side. From here, you're going to try to lift that leg out of the diagonal, up, and then right back down. up, and then right back down. You're gonna feel work in the side of your seat. It's creating this kind of creasing sensation at the side of your hip. So if you wanna look back and take a peek, you should be able to see that crease in those muscles that this is creating. Now, if you can, try to keep some weight in that standing supporting leg so that maybe your leg stays floating as it lifts and lower. A little bit more challenging for that standing supporting side. Feel all four corners in that front foot as you lift to this diagonal. And then we're gonna pause in that lift. Take a tiny little circle. Can you keep those hips totally still as you draw this tiny circle? Reach your leg longer as opposed to higher. Feel that difference. And then reverse from here. You've just got 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a little march right to left, right to left. We're gonna do the exact same set of exercises on the other side. So you're gonna start by bringing all of that weight into your right foot. Your left leg is gonna start to lift and lower straight out towards the side. Now that leg already got a lot of work as your supporting side when we were working that first side. So this side might feel a whole lot harder right from the get-go. Completely normal as you take that lift. Try to grow taller in your torso and keep that length equal down both sides. So instead of lifting your left hip to get your leg higher, think outer thigh doing that work. Exhale each time you take that lift and then grow a little taller. We're here for 4. And then after those 4, you already know where we're going. You're gonna hold that leg up. Tiny pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, pause. Set that toe down, keep it out towards the side. It's side body crunch time. Lifting that left arm straight up towards the sky, knee to elbow, bend in, and then both reach nice and long. Now you wanna try to get your elbow and your knee both to come halfway so that your upper and your lower body get to work equally here. Instead of focusing on just one, coming up way higher or way lower to meet the other. So you're focusing on staying tall, staying low, and then crunching on that left side, pulling your rib and your hip together. I like to put my other hand on my hip, but you can always hold it out towards the side, balance on something. We're here for 4, for 3, for 2, and we're gonna send that leg back to the diagonal here next. Once it's back at that diagonal, start to lift and lower, lift and lower. Turn it on that side of your seat, reaching the leg longer instead of higher. We remember that from the first side. Focusing on our balance might be a whole lot different on this side than it was on the first. There is nothing wrong with that. If you can, try to keep your leg floating as it lifts and lowers, but you can always bring that toe down between if we need that toe. Nothing wrong with that. Hang on to those abs. We're moving to upper body here next, so don't you worry if your low body's super tired. We're gonna hold that leg up, little circles. One direction here, try to keep those hips steady. Foot stays floating, engage, engage. Grow taller, pull that core in, squeeze that booty, squeeze that peach. Reverse your circle. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, go ahead and march it out, shake it out. Beautiful big breath in, reach for the sky. And then breathe out to let that all go. Roll your shoulders back. And let's move into our upper body from here. Now I just turned to the side so that you can see what's happening with my arms. What I'm going to have you do is turn your palms to face up towards the ceiling and reach those arms long back behind you. Little bend in your knees here. It's going to help you for support, help you with balance. Hold on to that core, hold on to those inner thighs, just like we've been talking about so far all day while we're standing. So important when we're standing. You're going to take those 2 straight arms and then just lift them up an inch, down an inch. Up an inch, down an inch. Can you squeeze all 5 fingers together on both sides and start to open up your chest, your collarbone a little bit more. So it's like you want to feel like you're pinching a pencil back behind your shoulder blades. And then you're reaching those hands as far back as possible to turn on your triceps, the backs of your arms. Now, triceps get tired really quickly. They're a smaller muscle group here, especially in your arms. So if you start to feel that achy sensation, that just means they're working. That just means they're shaping. You might also feel a little bit of shaking here. Next time those arms are lifted, we're gonna pause, and we're just gonna bring them in 2 inches, out 2 inches. In 2 inches, out 2 inches. You're gonna, of course, still feel this in the triceps, but also in those muscles right under your arms on both sides, towards the sides of your ribs, towards your back. Can you reach those fingertips even farther? And we're just gonna combine. You're gonna go up and then in, up and then in. Opening up your chest a little wider, keeping your gaze out in front of you to keep that neck relaxed. Put on your internal core set. Feel the difference when you do so. We've got 4 of these, 3 more sets, 2 more sets. Now, just like we did with those legs a second ago, little circles with your arms. Circles in towards one another first. We're gonna do both directions, so it's okay if you're circling the opposite way. Notice the difference from one shoulder to the other. One might get a lot tired quicker, one might feel a lot stronger than the other. Listen to your arms, one side's more dominant, we know that. Reverse the direction of that circle. As you circle in the other direction, hang on to your core. Arms are getting a rest here in a second. We've just got 5, 4, 3. Lift a little higher for your last 2. Last one, relax those arms. Now we just drew those little arm circles. From here, we're gonna draw huge arm circles, opening up your heart, opening up your chest, starting to circle back here first. Reach all 5 fingers on both sides away from one another this time, and then feel that stretch, like there's 2 strings pulling your hands as far apart as they can go from one another. Really take big breaths here, feel that expansion. Take up more space for 1 more, and then reverse that circle. Might feel funky in the other direction as you circle forward. Try to lift those shoulders all the way up into your ears as you reach, reach, reach. So the only time I'm gonna tell you to do so, because you're looking for as much expansion as possible. Letting free any of that tension that's built up in those shoulders. For 3 more of these, 2 more of these. Keep on breathing. Relax those arms down after this last one. From here, palms are gonna come in towards one another, like you're saying a little prayer in front of your face, fingertips up towards the sky. Now can you try to glue your elbows together? Do the best you can. They might need to stay a little bit away from one another, but what I want you to think about doing is turning on your chest, turning on those muscles under your arms to try to get them as close together as we possibly can. Doing what's called a prayer pulse, very tiny. Arms are going up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. So you just want to think like a string, pulling those fingertips up towards the sky. You're going to feel a lot of work in your back here immediately. Press those palms in towards one another. It is very, very easy for your neck to start to tense up. So do the best you can to keep it relaxed here as you move. Breathe out each time that prayer lifts up. We are just here for 6, 5, 4, feeling that shake for 2. You're gonna hold those arms up on 1, going out wide like a goalpost. Open those barn doors and then bring them all the way back together. Breathe out as they open and breathe in as they come in. So it's the opposite of what your body's gonna wanna do with that breath. Breathing out on the way out, breathing in on the way in. This is gonna keep your front ribs closed here because guess what? They're gonna wanna pop forward as your arms open to make you feel like you're doing more work. Little hint, you are not. Engage those muscles behind your shoulders. For 3 of these, on your 3rd one, you're holding that goalpost out nice and wide. And from there, you're going from here all the way to reach up overhead, all the way back to that goalpost, up overhead and right back to that goalpost. Can your elbows come a little lower this time, like a W, and then reach right back up? It's like our elbows are trying to meet back behind us. Feel that work in your back. Feel that work in the tops of your shoulders. And then next time those arms are up, you're gonna hold those arms up. Arms are going wide like a big T, and then right back up towards the sky. Wide like a big T, right back up towards the sky. Can you turn your palms down on the way out and then back towards the screen on the way up? Down on the way out and back towards the screen. Imagine there's something underneath both arms that you're trying to press down into the floor. Engage the muscles in your back under those arms a little bit more. We are here for 3. Keep on breathing. Hold that T on this 3rd one. We're going into a little chop. Both elbows bend. Think fingertips towards my chest, towards my collarbone, and then shoot those arms right back out. Arms are getting tired, shoulders are getting tired, keeping those arms lifted here. Guess what? This is our last set of upper body work before we take a little stretch. As you chop, try to make it a little bit quicker. Try to make it a little bit more precise. Use that exhale to squeeze. Find that bicep curl. Like you're trying to pull that elbow in towards your shoulder. Exhaling every single time. Precision, all 5 fingers glued together on both sides. Engagement, like we're moving through a body of water. Create resistance in both directions. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax those arms. We're going to start to take a little twist from side to side. Those arms can just kind of go with you, swaying in the wind as you twist from side to side. As you twist from side to side, we are letting go of tension in our core, in our center. We are letting our body move naturally how it wants to flow. So take out any of that concentration, those principles of Pilates or precision, and just wave from side to side. We are just here for 4 more counts. 3, 2, you're going to bring those feet nice and close together. Breathe in, reach all the way high for the sky. Take a nice big roll down on your breath out. Dive forward, 1 bone at a time, hanging out with gravity. Pull your belly button towards your spine as your fingers pull towards the floor. Nice big stretch in the backs of those legs. Stretch in the back of your spine. Activity in your center to protect your spine. Keep that activity in your center for the whole rest of your day, your night, whatever time you're doing this workout. And then slowly roll all the way up to stand. Restack, get tall, get taller, get tallest. And then guess what? That is it. You are all set, my lovely peachy people. I hope you feel wonderful. Standing workouts are so empowering. You know, you get to work on that balance, your foundation into the ground. I feel amazing. Hope you do too. I'll see you next time.